Good evening, everyone. It's October 15, 2019, and welcome once again to our daily market insights, where we talk about your favorite stocks and, yeah, we'll talk about how your favorite stocks performed in the market today. So I will be waiting for you guys, so drop a comment and we'll review them one by one. Okay, we're currently setting up our tools. I want to make this thicker. There you have it. Okay, so it's clear, right? Let's discuss your favorite stocks. And what you can see on my screen are two of my favorite indicators. That's your RSI. Let me just click this first. Okay, so this is your RSI, and this is your Bollinger Band. By the way, we're also here in YouTube, just in case you prefer to watch our videos in YouTube. Just look for Miss JD. Okay, so we are Miss JD in YouTube. It would be great if you can also support us here. All right. So good evening, Chris. So we are going to review your request first. Good job for being the first one to request. So we'll talk about phen and MBT. Notepad. George, Vita. Good evening, Jasper. MBT and Vita. Okay, so we can start. The rest will just follow. Okay, I got your request, Jasper, PPG, Meg, and allhc. Right. So the first one would be phen. So this is a good start for phen. In fact, yesterday we thought, okay, so I was just reviewing our analysis yesterday, and when we saw this, we thought that it is going to decline because this is a stock that's showing signs of weakness. Probably something must have happened. Could be a catalyst that drove the significant increase in the price. There was even a gap up that happened here. So let's check out what happened. Okay, so this could be it. There was a disclosure on the backdoor listing. What is this? Sometimes the fundamentals or any good news about a certain stock can significantly make changes or yeah, negate our assumptions in the technical analysis. I'll try to review this, but this could be a possible reason why there's a big jump in the price. So now that it is already triggering the upper or the moving average line. This is the MA20 line. So I would have to say that you can use the MA20 line as your support. Best entry price here is around 2.46. Okay. Next is MBT. MBT, you are currently sitting at the short-term resistance, but the overall MBT is really best for long-term investing. So if you can, overall, we're still at the very cheap level for MBTs. This is the area where you should be able to start accumulating volume, because when it spikes up, sometimes it could go as big as this, a big increase in the price, similar to what happened here. Now, we're already moving above the MA20 line, so any moment from now and in the coming days, potentially, we'll see some triggers at the upper band. So if you can enter, MA20, of course, is the best entry price, but anywhere from where it is at right now to the MA20 line is already a considerably good price to enter. Okay, 67.60 to 68.5 could be a good entry price. Vita. For Vita, this is again a promising move right here, as we are already above the MA20 line. So use MA20 as your entry price. That's the safest. So hopefully we'll see some bullish movements here, but if the market gives you a chance near the MA20 line, and that will be okay. Overall, if you're to look at it in a long-term perspective, this stock has been on a decline for more than a year. Um, Looking at the trend now, okay. So if you believe in the fundamentals of this stock, this is already a good entry price, 1.20. Okay, 120 is the best price to enter. PPG. Okay, PPG. Wow, promising. Okay, although guys, this is already a profit taking area. Okay, so for those who may have entered around this, I'm thinking in it's possible that by tomorrow people could already start taking profit here. And the reason why I said that is we don't really have that much momentum, because here, let's say you're already in the resistance area. It's just a straight line over there, but your RSI is already showing some signs of weakness. While the price was going up, your RSI, on the other hand, is on a decline. So if you have the chance and if you have already entered in the stock, start taking profit. If you want, you can partially take profit if you're in this stock for long term. Okay. And then when you see some signs of weakness, when it declines, then use the buying power to buy some more volume. Okay. The next one would be Meg. For Meg, I can say that look at this. Previously, this was a support, right? That was your support, and your previous support can act as a resistance. Now, I would have to say that this stock currently respects the rule where this was your support, this is now your resistance. Notice today when the stock price hit the 4.77 level, there was some rejection. So this is a bearish candlestick, considering that it appeared near a resistance. Therefore, we might experience some declines in the coming days. Now, if you ask me how big of a dip it is going to make, we're not very sure. But I think hopefully this is just a temporary retracement, right? I see some consolidation here. price landing at the same level for several days. So hopefully it stops at this area before it gives us another wave. Okay, so I'll plot that there for now because I see some, yeah, it was grading a support at that level. Let's try to look at the weekly chart. How does it look like? Okay, yeah, so just observe because it might follow this kind of movement. Let's try that. Let's check out this one. Yeah, it's to be conservative, 4.53 is the best entry price for now. Okay. Next one. Hey, how are you guys? So the next is allhc. I hope Jasper you were able to hear that, but one more, then your request is complete. Cram, good evening. How are you? Okay, so MR is requesting for MPI. Then let's talk about Cram's request, which is BPI and C. Okay, the rest. Phen. Okay, we got that covered. Is the first stock. PIP, GFC, smph. Okay, for Chris and Joe. And Karel, kppi, and nikl. Okay, we have enough. And we'll just wait for some more as we move along. Okay, next would be allhc. For allhc, okay, the we're seeing that in the coming days you can just do range trading because this is still giving us some sideways movement. And when you do range trading, of course, just follow this lower band and upper band. But to be specific, I'd like to draw a line as to where you can find your uh, support and resistance. Okay, so don't rush things, guys. When it's not yet the perfect time, do not enter. Okay, so as you can see, this one, even though it did not reach uh, the resistance where we drew the line at, this is already a possible sign of weakness. Okay, so it's possible that tomorrow there could be some movements touching this level and then it will decline. So if you want to get in, the safest entry price would be 3.37. Okay, but let us see if the price stops at this level, then we have to check first. Okay, because sometimes it can give us something like this. It touched the resistance, dropped, and touched it again. So overall, what we needed here to appreciate significant moves in the market, we need a volume. Because sometimes it goes up really, really high, but it is not sustained because the volume is low. Okay, so just be safe on a safer side for now. Do range trading. 3.37 is an entry price. MPI. MPI is another company in terms of fundamentals. This is a strong company, but this is really best for long term trading because for years now, this stock is just moving overall in a sideways. Okay, the maximum gain that we have witnessed so far is approximately 2 pesos in difference, right? It can go as low as 4 to 5, around that. Okay, so look at that, just sideways, just in big waves. So now let's talk about today. There was a massive selling. This was a big selling. So it yesterday was your clue. Okay, you already got that sign yesterday. Okay, when you got this big red volume here. So the red one here, the bars at the bottom are is the volume. So there was a selling pressure that happened, and this is again a shooting star. Okay, it is a shooting star because it appeared at the resistance area, and that was your hint. Now, same thing happened today. So the safest is try to check for the price action around the 4.71 level. Let us see if this stock will give us a good bounce at that area. But overall, we still see this stock is just moving on a sideways. It's 4.71. Yes, that's my recommended entry price. BPI. Let's check out BPI. Okay, range trading as well, but at least you're already moving near the resistance area. So hopefully, one of these days, that resistance is, we break that resistance. But for now, to play safe, we see a support at the 91.26 level. Hopefully, that is maintained. 91 point, okay, 91.45. That's already a good entry price. Okay, so range trading for now. But overall, my recommendation is BPI is not ideal for range trading unless you're investing millions. You'll appreciate the 1%, 2% gain. So BPI is really good for long term investing. C. For C, okay, you are currently at the resistance area for C. Still sideways. I'm plotting this. This is the resistance. Okay, some consolidation that happened here. There was support, support, okay, support became a resistance when it dipped and finally broke that support. Broke that resistance and created a support. Now, this is again your resistance. It will dip. Observe what happens around the, you know, MA20 area. See if it will bounce. Otherwise, if that line gets broken, then it might revisit your 6.68 level. Okay, so two areas of focus. Okay, so this being the resistance, this could be a possible bounce area. If that gets broken, it might go back here. So those are your key areas to watch out for. PIP. For PIP, we're seeing a resistance. This is a bearish candlestick that happened here because this is your resistance, and people felt that it's not yet time for it to move higher than your resistance, so they took profit, and this is a bearish candlestick. It might revisit your 1.60 area. Okay, or could be this because there were several days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's hope it doesn't reach this level, but let's just put it at 1.65 as a possible area of bounce. Okay, so again, how do we check your support and resistance? From the price where it is at right now, you screen it downwards. Now, as you see, as you screen downwards, you look to your left. If there's an area where you see price stop at multiple times, then that could be it, right? Actually, there's another one here, but um, let's see. For now, this is the most obvious support that I see. It is stronger than what we have here because this could also be right, but this is for me much stronger. Okay, JFC. Okay, JFC, you are at a resistance. You might experience some dip. It will probably just retrace. So there's another concept that some of you may have already known. This will show a Fibonacci retracement. Because I'm thinking the stock will just be on a will just be retracing. Okay, it is just resting for a little while, and then it will eventually move up further higher. Okay, so it respected this resistance. Okay, that's where we ended our line, by the way. So that's your resistance. And possible bounce could be the 231.34 area. If that gets broken, the next line to watch out for would be here and then here. They say that the lowest it can get would be the 0.618 level. Okay, I just don't know how to remove the name at the background, so I hope you can see it. So this is the lowest it can get, 0.618 level or the 225 level. So just watch out, okay? So I think the main reason why you want to check which area to you want to check these areas because that's your area to enter. And for those people who really don't have the time, if it dips further anywhere between the MA20 line and where it is at right now, for me overall, if you're a long-term investor, then that shouldn't be a very significant or a very big issue because overall it's still in a very cheap level. Take advantage of this day or these days because you're making the most out of your investment here. You're at a cheap level for GFC, and it's time to buy SMPH. SMPH is also giving us some retracements. Let me also plot your Fibonacci here. So if some of you guys do not know how to use this yet, when you plot your Fibonacci, you just find the lowest point here. If you use from the body, you should also plot it at the topmost only up to the body of the candlestick. Okay, so for here, the lowest is this one, and then I go here again and I just plot it at the highest using body to body. Okay, now how do we explain this? So there are areas to watch out for. So by tomorrow, if price starts at this level, anywhere from here, and then most of the action happens on the upside, that means you have a good bounce at the 0.236 area. Otherwise, if that gets broken, the next possible area of bounce would be the 37.23 level. Okay, I'm thinking given that we have MA20 line near the 0.382 level, then it's either here or here. So that's just the two areas that it will potentially bounce at. Because so far, no bad news for this stock. Yes, it was just a market sentiment that it declined, but overall, SMPH is a very good and very established company, very promising. Okay, KPPI. For KPPI, you are again seeing a bearish candlestick. So watch out around the MA20 line. I hope that line gets sustained for a support level, wait first. I understand that there was a massive decline from here to here, and you'll think, oh, it's already cheap. But seeing that you have a bearish candlestick, you can still haggle at a much cheaper price. And for me, the 10.28 level is already a cheap price. Okay, nickel. For nickel, you are sitting at the support area. Not so. If I say support, that would be technically 3.76. 3.76 to 3.88, that will be fine because it's an area. So it's there. 3.77. Okay. Hopefully, it does not reach that level and it gives us a good bounce. The reason why I said that is there's really a minimal movement that happened around here. So some are not giving up on their position and they're just holding on to it. And probably, let's see the volume. I'm thinking the volume of trades here is just very few. Well, 660 is just a so-so in the Philippine market. That's already an acceptable volume of trades. One thing to note here is the net foreign buying. So I'm thinking foreign investors find this stock more attractive at the moment. That's why they're already buying shares for this stock. So yep, if it goes further down, then that could be a good bargain for all of us. 3.77 is ideal. Okay, let's see if we have some more requests. You're welcome, Jasper. Carol, I hope you're still there and you were able to hear our assessment. You're welcome, Chris. MBT. Pepper requested for MBT, but very quickly, let's just show that because this is uh, a blue chip company and a lot of people are invested in this. MBT, you're already at the short term resistance for MBT, and I mentioned just watch out if the price will give us a good bounce at the MA20 line, which is 67.56. Okay, that's an area of possible bounce. Okay. But overall, if there's a slight dip lower than the MA20 line, just look at it as uh, have a mindset of an investor when you talk about MBT because this is a very established company. Hmm. Let's talk about tech. Danilo also requested tech. Let me add that. PAP Deliver, I already reviewed it. I hope you were able to hear that. Rail would be VUL. BTC, okay. Lord Vimin, BTC Bitcoin. Well, you can check that. Okay, anyway, let's talk about tech first. Tech, okay. There was a price rejection that happened at the MA20 line. Okay, so I think this was also requested. Was it over the weekend or yesterday? So there was a price rejection. So this is an expected outcome. Another red candlestick. So let's wait for it at the 7.97 area. I have a feeling it will revisit that price, giving us at a at a at a discounted price for those who'd like to get in this stock. But I have a strong feeling that it will not go further down because of your RSI giving us some bullish divergence over here. Price level is going down while your RSI is already giving us an upward direction. It's not just so just hang in there. 7.97 is the best entry price. VUL, Mhm. VUL. VUL, just be extra careful. You might see some retracement here because there was a price rejection. Okay, hopefully I'm incorrect in this situation. I hope the stock goes up further because that can also a big possibility. But just being conservative, um, I have a feeling if it will not happen tomorrow, it could be in the coming days. It might revisit your 1.06 level because this one here, I've seen the price topping at this level multiple times. There was another one over here. So it might rest and revisit that to establish a much stronger support around the 1.06 area. So let's talk about Bitcoin and the platform that I'm using when I check Bitcoin. I use tradingview.com. I'm also invested in the US market. In fact, I am more active here than in the Philippine market. Okay, so I do scalping, right? Because I that's the only time I can commit, and I can only do that during the night. Let's open the chart following the same rule here. Okay, following the same rule, you guys can actually trade the US market, even Bitcoin. Okay, so if you're referring to Bitcoin, so what do we have here? Okay, so Bitcoin looks like it is respecting your MA20 level around 8,258 area. So I'm thinking it will still, yeah, it will still linger in this area for several days before, hopefully, before it gives us a uh, bullish movement. Okay, so if you want to get in this stock, I'm thinking this could be a good entry price right now. Be around the 8 pesos area. I mean 8,000 level. Hmm. What about here? There's still a selling pressure. Okay, there. You can already give it a try, but again, just a reminder for everyone: Bitcoin is or cryptocurrency is open 24 hours. If you want to engage in trading this, make sure you only have a trader's mindset here and use a much faster time frame because you can never tell. You might be sleeping and then there's a sudden decline in the price, like what happened here, and all of a sudden, it's a big negative on your side, like more than I don't know 10%, 15%, because that can happen within a day. Okay, so that's my 2 cents advice for Bitcoin. Okay, let us check. And that's for Lord Vimin. I hope I was able to give insights around Bitcoin. Nickel and PIP. Let me check. I think we already talked about nickel and PIP, Virgo. So feel free to replay this. I will also be adding the stocks you have reviewed so you can just fast forward. Let's talk about now. And this is Emmer's request. Guys, by the way, don't forget to subscribe to Miss JD. We are Miss JD. Please support our Facebook channel. And yeah, that's the only request that I have. Let's talk about now. Now is currently, so you see here, this used to be a support, right? And when that support gets broken, that will eventually become your resistance. And where the price is at the moment, it is currently giving us some signs of weakness around the resistance area. Okay, previous support becomes your resistance. So there is a possibility that it will potentially rest So key area of possible bounce, of course, your MA20 line, that could be. Otherwise, it will go back to where it came from, around 2.72 area. Okay, around that. Because this used to be a resistance again, moved up, revisited that. Now, if this gets broken, if your MA20 line gets broken, it might go back here once again. Okay, so that's how we see it. So next, C for Johan. Yeah, I think I already checked C, Johan. You'll see it here. There you go. Do range trading for now. This is a support and this is a resistance. So just wait. And there's a possibility that C will still go further down. URC. Okay, let's check out URC from AKP. URC. URC is currently sitting at the resistance area. It tried to break that, okay? But there was some price rejection. So two things can happen here. Um, Sometimes there is what we call a breakout play. When you see a breakout play, the price action there is okay. So price could potentially start at the 158 or 159 area, and then most of the action happens on the upside. When that thing happens, you will now have a bullish movement. Your previous resistance can now become your support. That means you'll have another wave. So it might do something like this and then go back, revisit that, and then go up. Okay, so that is your new wave. Previous resistance will eventually be your support. Now, that's scenario number one. Scenario number two is when this resistance is respected, because we're currently moving below the MA20 level. So this is a perfect example. Right over here, price was trying to break that. Okay, you thought it will really break it because this price ended above the MA29, but you were incorrect. It declined further down. Okay, so it might also happen that it might that might happen as well as your scenario number two. Now, if that happens, I'm looking at 152.90 as your next support. One 151.90. There you go. Here, not 152. Where's 152? Yeah, it's an area anyway, so let's just put it there. 152.73. Scenario number two. Okay, price rejection at the resistance area, and then it will go back here. Anyway, there's a gap up that happened here, so I'm really more inclined to scenario number two, where it will uh, rest for a while. The next one is okay. Hi Ben, you got AGI. Okay, we'll get that. However, Meg and Vita, we're done with them. We'll talk about Web, IMI, and NI. Okay, AGI. AGI, let's see if it will respect this MA20 line. You're already at a very cheap level. It has been on a strong decline for several months. So if you really want to get in near the MA20 line, which is 11.20. That should be already a good entry price. Web. Web is okay. So this is a bounce that we see for web. So you are already at a good level. Good entry. This could be a good entry price for web, and overall, it's still at a cheap level. 3.08. Okay, 3.08. That could be a good entry price. IMI. Let's check out IMI. Oops. IMI resistance was not sustained, so it will go back potentially to 7.69. No, 7.72. That is the next support that we're seeing because it broke that MA20 line. It's triggering it on the downside. So maybe there's one more day of a red, and then hopefully it gives us a good bounce right after that. What about NI? NI, this is not a good sign. It's triggering the lower Bollinger Band. So we might experience some more um, declines in the coming days. Hopefully, it stops right at this level, 1 peso level. 1 peso level. Yes. Okay. Just be extra careful because I'm not very familiar with the stock. I bet this is a secondary stock. So sometimes the volume is really of a challenge here. See that? 14 trades. So it's just very few of you guys trading this stock. Sometimes you are already the price is already showing, let's say 1.02, and you wanted to sell at 1.02. You will wonder, why is my sell order not being executed? The reason for that is no one wants to buy it because there are only a few trades. So the first thing you need to look at when you're interested in a particular stock, check out the number of trades there. Okay. The next one, do we have any more? Okay, Ed would like to check LBC. Venjo, yep, we're done with Vita. Let's check if Fen is already done as well. Okay, so I am adding LBC and Fen. Okay, LBC and Fen. Wow, and we only have 11 trades. What happened here? Last 15 minutes ba to? 11:50, 9:35, and then 9:50. It stopped at 11:50 and no other movements that happened right after. Okay, because there are only 11 trades. So, um, just help me understand at what price did you enter this at? I'm not sure where you entered at, but definitely my take here is um, definitely not at the price where it is at right now. I have a feeling that these folks might take profit and it might decline. The true value of this stock that I can see is at the 13.84 level. Okay, and I'm looking at the weekly chart so that I have a much better picture of what happened here. 13.60, yeah, 13.60 level. That's a more reasonable price. 13.66, around that level. Okay, definitely not this one. People will take profit, I bet, within the week. Phen, Phen. Okay, interesting. Let's see if this gets sustained. Okay, I'm plotting 2.43 as the support. Actually, just plotted at the okay, 2.43, guys. Okay, so I'm giving these insights and I am considering my profile while I talk to you guys. Some of you may have, the whole day. You're free the entire day and you can watch the market. Just note that if you want to trade a stock you, and you want to watch for this stock by the minute and take profit within the day, use a much faster time frame. Because using the same concept, for every candlestick here, if I click on 15 minutes, every candlestick would mean 15 minutes worth. Okay, and it still follows the same um, methodology in terms of technical analysis. So if it says here that you are already bound to decline because it's already sitting at the upper band, then potentially in the coming days, or yeah, in the next 15 on a 15-minute interval, you will potentially experience a decline. And true enough, it ended right below that. And let's see, on the next day, what direction it will give us. Let's see which price will it land at. So if you have the time, go for it. And if you have strong conviction on the stocks based on your technical analysis, go for it. Okay. But as for my profile, I am a position trader. I would normally wait at the very bottom where you see a support. That's where I enter. Okay. But overall, it might give us a good bounce at this area. Otherwise, it might revisit your support. And the support that we see is right at this level, 2.29, or here. Could be. Yeah, 2.17 level. That could be the next. Okay, so this was your resistance. It became your support. It did not hit right at this the line, but it's an area. And then revisited that. So two areas to watch out for. This is a possible bounce, and this is another one. Okay, so I think that is it for now. The rest, um, thank you guys for joining me in our daily market insights. And yeah, if you have questions, drop a question, message me, and I'll try my best to answer that. Okay, thank you and good night, everyone. Bye bye for now.